מאמר הניצנים 4 בראשית
Flower buds. 4. In the beginning, Rabbi Shimon started. The flower buds have appeared on the earth. The time for pruning has arrived, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The flower buds are the act of creation, have appeared on the earth on the third day. As it is written, and the earth shall spring forth grass. The time for pruning has arrived is the fourth day, in which there was the pruning of the tyrants. This is why it is written about it, let there be lights without a vav, which is a curse. And the voice of the turtle dove is the fifth day, of which it is written, let the waters swarm to produce offspring. Is heard is the sixth day, of which it is written, let us make men, who is destined to put doing before hearing. In our land is the Sabbath, which is like the land of life in the next world. Explanation. The flower buds are the 6 days of the act of creation, Vak, Chagat Nei of Zeir Anpin, from which the 10 Sfirot of Partzuf Nukva de Zeir Anpin are built. This is so because the Nukva has nothing of her own, and her whole construction is from what Zeir Anpin gives her. He interprets how the Nukva is built from the Vak of Zeir Anpin. He says, appeared on the earth on the third day, since the Nukva is called earth. The flower buds, Sfirot de Zeir Anpin, were received and appeared in the Nukva, who is called earth, on the third day of the act of creation. This was on the third day, Tiferet, since first she was emanated in the 2 great lights, and then she was equal to Tiferet of Zeir Anpin. It follows that she was emanated on the third day, equally with Tiferet of Zeir Anpin, who is called the third day of the act of creation. Afterwards, then they appeared on the earth. Since that state did not exist in Nukva, hence they appeared on the earth, meaning that they appeared so once. Afterwards, the time for pruning has arrived. This is the fourth day, on which there was the pruning of the tyrants, since on the fourth day the moon, Nukva of Zeir Anpin, was diminished. As it was written, that the moon complained and said, two kings cannot use the same crown. And the Creator told her, go diminish yourself. And then she descended into a point under the Yesod of Zeir Anpin. Her bottom nine fell into Bria, and only her point of Keter remained in Atzilut, and she stood under the Yesod. And henceforth she is built by Netzach Hod of Zeir Anpin. This is called pruning of the tyrants, since the diminution became a preparation and a receptacle for receiving mochin of Chaya. And these mochin cut off all the klipot that cling to the nukva. And pruning means cutting off. And the tyrants are the external ones, and the klipot that surround the rows. The voice of the turtle dove is the sixth day. The fifth day. The turtle dove is Netzach of Zeir Anpin. The voice of the turtle dove is Hod of Zeir Anpin, who receives from Hod that is included in Netzach of Zeir Anpin. For this reason, this reception is called the voice of the turtle dove. Is heard is the sixth day. The voice of the turtle dove is received in the nukva only through the sixth day, Yesod of Zeir Anpin, which includes Netzach Hod, and imparts them upon the nukva. It is heard to the nukva only on the sixth day. The rule is that the nukva receives only from the middle line of Zeir Anpin, which is Dat Tiferet Yesod, or from Dat, or from Tiferet, or from Yesod. It was said, "Let us make man," was destined to put doing before hearing. Hearing is Bina, since seeing and hearing are Chub. Doing is Malchut. In doing, or Asiya, is Malchut. In Tzimtzum Bet, the bottom hay rose to Nikveh Einaim, to associate her with the quality of mercy, Upper Bina. Yet Abba moved Ima outside, and Abba himself was established as male and female. This is so because Einaim is Abba, and through the ascent of the bottom hay to him, the zivug of Rosh was established in the bottom hay, who is called Nikveh Einaim. And Ima, Bina, went because of that from Rosh to Guf. Thus, there are Keter Chochmah in Rosh of Arich Anpin, and Bina went out to the Guf. It follows that Asiya, or doing, the bottom hay, Malchut, comes before hearing, Bina. Since Abba was established in the Nukva, who is called I, and the Nukva became like Abba, the second Sfira after Keter. From the ascent of Malchut to Nikveh Einaim, she was mitigated there and became fit to rise and clothe upper Abba Ve'ima and receive Mochin of Chaya, like upper Ima. This is the meaning of the moon being full. Hence, upon the giving of the Torah, Israel said first, "We shall do and we shall hear," putting doing before hearing. And by that they were rewarded with the reception of the Torah. Since Asiya, or doing, Malchut rose and clothed upper Abba Ve'ima, and the Yovel, the 50th gate, appeared. This is why the hearing was in the sixth day, since on it the correction of putting doing before hearing was done. as at the time of the giving of the Torah. For this reason, on the Sabbath of Bereshit, Malchut became the land of the living, Upper Ima. In our land, it is the Sabbath day, which is a sample of the land of the living. Upper Ima is called the land of the living, and through the giving of the sixth day, Nukva rose on the Sabbath day of the act of creation up to Upper Ima, and Nukva too became like the land of the living, since the lower one that rises to the upper one becomes like it. Excerpt number 5. The flower buds are the patriarchs who entered in thought and entered the next world, Bina, and were hidden there. And from there they came out in concealment and were hidden in the true prophets. Joseph was born, and they hid in him. Joseph entered the Holy Land and erected them there. And then they appeared in the land and were revealed there. When are they seen? They appear when the rainbow appears in the world. At that time, the time of pruning has arrived, the time to cut off the wicked from the world. Why were they saved? It was because the flower buds appeared on the earth. Had they not appeared already, they would not have remained in the world, and the world would not have existed. Explanation. The Zohar explains the attainment of Mochin, of Chaya, of Zeir Anpin itself. The flower buds relate to Chagat of Zeir Anpin, which are called the patriarchs. Nehi of Zeir Anpin are called sons, and there are two parzufim, a plural of parzuf, that divide in the Chazeh of Zeir Anpin. Since Chagat are called the great zon, and Nehi are called the small zon. Hence, the Zohar makes the precision of telling us that it is from the great Zeir Anpin, and this is why they said patriarchs. They are called flower buds, which means planting, since they grow like plantings. First, their measure was as that of Nehi. Afterwards, in Yenika, they become Chagat. Then, in the first Gadlut, they become Chabad of Neshama. In the second Gadlut, they become Chabad of Chaya. The flower buds are the patriarchs who entered in thought and the next world, Bina. The intention is the construction of Zeir Anpin, because during his Ibu, he rises to Abba Ve'ima, who are called thought and the next world. Abba is called thought, and Ima is called the next world. And there is the beginning of the construction of Zeir Anpin in 3 within 3, which means that Chagat are clothed within Nehi. This is why it was said the plantings were as antennae of grasshoppers, uprooting from there and planting elsewhere and rising and raising.
הנטיעות,
The plantings are the patriarchs, Chagat from their root.
על ידי עלייתם לעיבור,
Through their ascent to Ibur into Chokhmah Ubina,
ששתל אותם
when he
במקום
plants them elsewhere,
והשיגו שם
they obtain there the mitigated Malchot,
הראויה
which is fit for Mochen at the time of Gadlut.
על ידי זה גדלו
By
לאט
that,
בעיבור,
they grew slowly in Ibur,
אחר כך
conception,
על
then
ידי יניקה,
through Yenika,
ועל ידי גדלות
then through the first Gadlut,
ולבסוף
and finally through the second Gadlut.
ומשם יצאו בהסתר,
From there they came out in concealment,
שקיבלו
where once Chagat received
חגין בעיבור,
all the Mochin of Ibur,
הם נולדים
they are born and come out of Abba Ve'ima
למקומם למטה,
to their place below,
ויצאו בהסתר,
and come out in concealment,
אחר
since after their exit from Abba Ve'ima to their place,
יצאו עוד בהסתר,
they still remained in concealment, in diminished light.
ונסתרו בתוך
They were
נביאי
hidden in the true prophets,
שעל ידי השגת
means that by obtaining Mochin of Yenika,
נמשך האור המיוחד
the unique light was extended to Nehi of Zoanpin,
האמת,
the true prophets.
ואז
Then Chagat expanded for them
מתוך
out of Nehi, and he obtained Vak.
ועם כל זאת,
And this is why
נסתרים,
they are still hidden,
כי נמצאים
for they are still in concealment of Mochin of Rosh,
ואין להם אלא נפש רוח.
and
על כן נאמר,
they only have Nefesh Ruach.
אמת.
This is why it was said that they were hidden in the true prophets. They are Netzach Hod, that they obtained through the Yenika.
אבל נסתרו בהם,
But they were hidden
כי האור שלהם
in them because the light disappeared and is no longer revealed.
ודע
You should know
שיש תמיד
that there is always an inverse relation between Kelim
לאורות.
and lights.
כי בהתחשב עם
This is so because in relation to the lights,
על ידי יניקה,
the light of
אור
Chagat,
וחגת,
meaning Ruach, is obtained through Yenika.
בהתחשב עם
In
הכלים,
relation to the Kelim,
משיגים
the
ביניקה,
Kelim of Nehi are obtained in Yenika,
והוד,
and the light of Nefesh that was in Chagat descends in them.
וכן במוחין
Similarly, in Mochin of Gadlut,
האורות,
in relation to the lights, it is considered that light of Chabad is obtained.
ומבחינת הכלים,
And in relation to the Kelim, it is considered that they obtained the Kli of Yesod of Gadlut.
ונולד יוסף ונסתרו בו. כי אחר
Joseph was born, and they hid in him. After the completion of the Mochin of Yenika,
בור ב'
the Anpin rises for a second Ibur for Mochin of the first Gadlut.
מוחין אלו,
Through this Mochin,
עשו חגת שלו
his Chagat became Chabad
וראש.
and Rosh.
ונהי
And
שקנה
then he that he acquired through the Yenika
עשו לו לחגת,
became Chagat for him.
ונולדים לו
Then
חדשים.
new Nehi was born to him,
מכונים נהי של מוחין דגדלות.
and they are called Nehi of Mochin of Gadlut.
מכונים
And those Nehi are called Yosef,
הוא
who is
יסוד דגדלות.
Yesod of Gadlut. which includes Netzach Hod of Gadlut. And those Nehi are called Joseph, who is Yesod of Gadlut, which includes Netzach Hod of Gadlut. This is why they are still in concealment. Because in the first Gadlut, he attains only the Mochin of Neshama, which are still regarded as Achoraim for Zeranpin. This is why he says that they hid in him, since they are still concealed. Joseph entered the Holy Land and established them there, because after Mochin of the first Gadlut, Zeranpin begins to receive Mochin of the second Gadlut, Mochin of Chaya. At that time, the Nukva is cut off from him and is built as a whole Parzuf in Mochin of Chaya. Then the Nukva is called the Holy Land, because the Mochin of Chaya is called holiness. Joseph, Yesod of Gadlut of Zeranpin, entered the Holy Land, the Nukva, panim bepanim, face to face, with Zeranpin at an equal level. And he established them in the Holy Land. Since Mochin of Chaya, the light of Chokhmah, are drawn out only in Zivug of Zon as one. And they remain only with the Nukva, because only by her are they drawn during the Zivug. And he erected them in her house. Since the value of Zeranpin with respect to the Nukva is as the value of upper Abba Ve'ima with respect to Yesut. Hence, Mochin of Chaya, light of Chokhmah, appears only in Nukva, which is considered Yesut. Then they appeared on the earth and were revealed there. Now they have become sufficiently revealed in the quality of Gadlut. But until now, they were regarded as hidden and concealed. When are they seen? The Zohar has already explained that they appear when Joseph entered the Holy Land, meaning at the time of the Zivug. And the place of disclosure is in the Nukva. Thus, why is he asking again, when are they seen? The thing is that even during the Zivug, there are two discernments. Hitkalelut, incorporation or integration of the left and the right, the 5 chasadim in the male, and the hitkalelut of the right and the left, the 5 gvuot in the nukva. This is why he asks, when are they seen? During the hitkalelut of the right in the left, or during the hitkalelut of the left in the right? Answer: the rainbow, when the rainbow appears in the world. The rainbow is Yesod of Zeranpin in Nukva. This is the Hitkalelut of the right and the left during the zivug. As it's written, I have set my bow in the cloud. Only from that are the upper mochin extended, as then they appear from the itkalelut of the right in the left. At that time, the time for pruning has arrived, a time to cut off the wicked from the world. When the wicked multiply in the world, and there is much gripping to the klipot and the sitra achra because of them, as was at the time of the generation of the flood, for which the whole universe was wiped out. At that time, the people in the world have no other hope but through the disclosure of the upper mochin, mochin of Chaya. And why were they saved? It is because the flower buds appeared. Why were the people of the world saved from extinction? As it happened at the time of the flood, it is because the flower buds appeared on the earth. This is so because disclosure of the mochin of Chaya removes the klipot from the land, Malchut, and they can no longer grip to it. As it is written, and I will look upon it to remember the everlasting covenant. It was said, but if they were not already seen, they will not remain in the world. First, the Nukva is built with the two great lights, and she has an equal level with the Anpin. However, she stands at the back of the Anpin, which is why the moon complained that two kings cannot use the same crown. For this reason, the mochin are regarded as mochin de'achor, posterior mochin, and they are called mochin of vak of nukva, which are mochin of her katnut, from the beginning of her formation. And at that time, Zon is regarded as a small panim, small face. And they are called children, youths, and youngsters. However, once she is completed with these mochin, she returns to upper Abba Ve'ima for a second ibur. And then she is built as a great structure with mochin of panim bepanim with zampin. Then they are called big panim. It is known that there is no change or absence in the spiritual. And those mochin of the achor, small panim, remain in her even at the time of mochin and gadlut. Moreover, the reason for the extension of the mochin of Chaya is primarily in the kelim of mochin of achor, in the small panim. It was said, if they were not seen, they would not remain in the world. In other words, if those flower buds had not been seen in the nukva from her katnut, in the construction of her achoraim, the mochin of Chaya would not have remained in her during the gadlut. as well, since she wouldn't have no vessels in which to receive them.
Passage number 6. And who is the one who sustains the world and causes the patriarchs to appear? It is the voice of the children who engage in Torah. And for these children of the world is saved. It is in relation to them that it is written, "We will make for you turtle doves of gold." We will make for you turtle doves of gold. These are the children, youths and youngsters. As it is written, "You shall make 2 cherubim of gold." Explanation. The children of the world are mochin de achor, posterior, which is called small panim. Also, the children of the world, as well as children, youths, and youngsters. And their zivug, in that state, are called the voice of the children who engage in Torah. They are the turtle doves of gold. And they are the 2 cherubim, small panim, without which these mochin de chaya, which extend by the itkaralut, the incorporation of right and left, would not be received in the nukva whatsoever. And who is the one who sustains the world at the time of proliferation of the klipot, shells, who have the power to destroy the world as during the time of the flood? There is no hope except the drawing of mochin de chaya in the rainbow. By that, the world will be saved. And who is the one who sustains and saves the world at that time and causes the patriarchs to be revealed? Who causes the disclosure of Chagat in Mochin of Rosh, when Chagat became Chabad of Chaya to appear? The voice of the children who engage in Torah causes that. The Mochin of Achor, which is the voice of the children and the turtle doves of gold.